Hey, what's going on today, guys? This is Mr. Whitemare coming back at you with another cool Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon video. So before you click off, if you're just a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or just a fan of Pokemon, please just stick around. This video is entirely based on nostalgic pulls from when I was in my childhood or in my much younger years. So, without further ado, let's get into it. You guys will be shocked at the very first card on my list. The first card is actually Kakuna. Again, don't click off. There's better cards coming, but I have an interesting story behind Kakuna. So back when I was in 3rd grade, I think Pokemon had just come out, somewhere around that time, and I had only a few cards in my collection. And so one day, I was heading to school with my dad in the morning, and he said that he would take me to the card shop after school. And I think I had like $10 allowance money or something like that I could use. So I was so excited the entire day. And I was sitting in class and just thinking about, when the time came, I was gonna go to the card shop and get all these cool cards. And for whatever weird reason, Kakuna was on my mind. And so that day we had to make a journal entry and just write about whatever we wanted. So I wrote about going to the card shop with my dad. And I also drew a picture of Kakuna, of all things. I don't know why, but I'll never forget that. And so that day we went to the card shop, and I don't think I came away with the Kakuna. I think I got one later on from a pack or something, but just a silly memory, and I'll always remember it, and mostly just how excited I was to go to the card shop and hang out with my dad and do all that. So funny enough, first card on the list is Kakuna. Okay, so the next card is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. We're gonna do 5 Pokemon, 5 Yu-Gi-Oh. So the next card is actually 2. Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. But these are the SDY and SDK, so Starter Deck Yugi, Starter Deck Kaiba versions of the card. And this one also reminds me, obviously this is gonna be a top 2 for anyone that grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, but back in the day, I didn't have any Yu-Gi-Oh cards yet. I'd seen the show, and again, I had like a little bit of allowance or something, and so my dad said that he would take me to Kmart, and which is now an incredibly extinct store. But he said that he would take me to Kmart, and we could go get some cards. So we, at the time, he had a Harley. So remember, I was a little kid, and so we hopped on the Harley, and I was terrified, but yet I thought it was just so badass that I could just, ride on a bike with him and do all that. So we hop on the Harley and we go to Kmart, and that's where I got my very first 2 structure decks. And remember, we came out and we put it on the saddlebags on the side and took it home, and the rest was history. But these cards are so nostalgic, and this one's actually in really good shape. Unfortunately, my original one was stolen when I was in elementary school, but this is one I picked up later on. And then this Dark Magician here, this one is pretty beat up too. I think I did get a second copy to play with because I was more of a Dark Magician fan, even though I do love Blue Eyes, but this one is certainly a little beat up. But as some people say, it's not ruined, it's loved. And yeah, loved to play this card a lot. So these were just iconic for me, just because they were, some of the first cards I ever picked up for Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I couldn't leave them off of this list. So Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. All right, next up is another Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. So it's actually a Ghost Rare Star Eater. So this card is just super badass. The artwork is incredible. It's like a meteor style dragon. It's kind of hard to see with the Ghost Rare, but this card was amazing. When I first got back into the game, this one was used in a lot of different decks. And I remember I had picked up a booster box of Judgment of the Light, and it was a pretty cheapy set back then, and it still is now. So I picked up this booster box, and I was hanging out with my mom one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna open up this box. So I'm opening it, so then we're just chatting while I'm opening up some cards, and then she was like, hey, why don't you go ahead and hand me a pack, and I'll see if I can get you something good. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I have her just pick a pack out of the box. I even kind of sprawled them out in my hands and everything. And so she picked one and she opened it. And so I'm opening up, like, I've opened up 4 packs in the time it takes to open up one. And so I happen to glance over, and so she's towards the middle of the pack, and then I see a white edge, and I was like, no, it can't be Star Eater. So then she kind of slowly moves the other card on top of it off, and then I see that the iconic Ghost Rare finish, and I lost it. I was like, I can't believe you pulled the Star Eater. And she felt so bad. She was like, I'm so sorry, I took away your fun, and you know, you should have been the one to do this and open this, and I stole the best card from you. And I said, no, it makes it even more amazing because you pulled it. So for me in my collections, I always put a silver star on the back of cards that I pull myself. So for this one, I put a silver star on the back, but as you can see, there's an M, and obviously that stands for Mom. So I will never forget that she got this card, and it means so much more to me because it has the story attached to it. Same with all these cards that we're going to go over. A lot of them are great cards, don't get me wrong, and a lot of them do have value. But some of them, like Kakuna, it's just a random card, but the story is what makes it great. So anyhow, Star Eater, Mom pulled it. Shout out to Mom. Really, really cool card. All right, next up, so we have Zapdos from the base set Pokemon series. This card I got when I was a kid. I was probably younger than 10, most definitely. And I wish it was first edition, but unfortunately it's not. But still, it doesn't detract from how amazing this card is. I think the artwork is just so cool. It doesn't quite do Zapdos justice for his size, because normally, he's pretty big normally. At least like in the anime and everything, but he looks kind of small here, but still the artwork, it looks really, really cool. And for the condition, not too bad. Definitely some scratches on it, so probably more lightly played at this point, but very nostalgic for me. So this card, I don't remember actually pulling it specifically, but what makes this card really unique to me is my sister, when I was younger, she knew that I loved Pokemon, and so for Christmas and the holidays, she would do nice things for me. And one year, she told me that she had a big surprise coming for me, and she was making it. And so I, 9-10 years old, I was stoked. I was like, I can't even imagine what it could be. So I think it was Christmas Day, right before Christmas Day. She finished it, because it took her a while to do it because she was busy working and doing other stuff. But she gave me what she created, and I actually still have it to this day. Despite being an old man, I have still kept this thing. So this is actually a box that she drew Zapdos on herself. And she painted it, drew it on there, everything. It is just really cool. But obviously it stems from the artwork from this card. And as a little kid, I was smitten. It was just the coolest thing for a young kid, and I'll never forget it. Super awesome. Shout out to the sister, because she gave me something that I will cherish forever. And inside I just keep just like various Pokemon games, and then I have my very first PSA card, which was a PSA 9 Spellbinding Circle from MRL. So, but yeah, I just had to feature the box because I think it would I thought it would give context to how special these kind of things can be. All right, so next up, another Yu-Gi-Oh card. Another one that's probably not on a lot of people's lists, but Dark King of the Abyss. And this is an LOB first edition card. I pulled this myself when I was a kid, and it's actually remained in pretty good shape ever since. But this card, I don't really have any familial or friend stories about this one, but I do remember this is one of the first cards when I was a young kid that just really captivated me. And as I've said countless times in a lot of my videos, I'm just a fan of the dark and creepy and things like that. And so I remember I was like a little 4th grader or 5th grader when I got this. It was just almost an introduction for me into liking that kind of thing. And yeah, and then the artwork is incredible. To this day, I think it's one of the creepiest artworks that Konami's ever done. Like, it's completely terrifying. And I'm pretty sure this was featured in the anime too. I think this was a Kaiba card, but I could be wrong. But yeah, and especially because this also comes from the very first set Yu-Gi-Oh, or the very first Yu-Gi-Oh set ever, I think it just even holds more meaning to me. But definitely attribute my affinity for the dark and creepy to Dark King of the Abyss. Really, really nice card. All right, next one, another Pokemon card. So this is Dark Gyarados. So this one kind of has a funny story. So this one, if you notice here in the corner, it says pre-release. So I got this when I was very young, and I went to a Pokemon tournament at Toys R Us. And I had played a little bit of Pokemon with my friends as a young kid, but as most young kids do, you don't understand what the heck is going on in the game, so you play your own weird version of it. So I show up thinking that I'm hot stuff, and I think I'm gonna kick some people's butt. And that was very far from the truth. So I walk in, and there was actually a guy that was much older than me, and so we played, and he had even said before, like, hey, whenever I play people, I play them for their decks. So I, confidently was like, oh, it'll be no big deal. I'll win your deck. And yeah, he mopped the floor with me, as he should. And he was a nice guy, and so he didn't take my deck or anything, because he understood that I was naive. But the reason that this card stands out to me is you got this for just entering the tournament. So you got like a cool little promo card. And unfortunately, when I first started getting back into collecting, I don't like collect Pokemon. But when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I wanted to check what my old Pokemon stuff was worth, because I do have a fair amount of it. And I thought this card would be worth so much, but I think it's like $30 at best or something. But still in great shape to this day. I'm still happy to have it, but it does bring back the memory. And yeah, always reminds me to not get too far ahead of the skis, so to speak. So there's Dark Gyarados. All right, next one. Black Skull Dragon, or B Skull Dragon. So this card, man, to start, I am a fan of the dark and creepy. Any card that is hollow with like red and black accents, I absolutely love. And this was one of the first ones in Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, that kind of featured those colors together. So for this card, I pulled it from a pack when I was a kid, and I used it in my deck, this very copy. And even back then, it was my all-time favorite. I loved it. And at the time, 3200 attack, I mean, this thing could take out Blue Eyes if you fuse Summon Skull and Red Eyes. So this thing was pretty OP for the time. So I remember one day I was sitting down in my mom's basement, and I was dueling with a friend, and I had just gotten a dog like a few months prior, and her name was Misty, and she was a wild little thing. So you can probably see where this is going. So we're in the middle of a duel, and Misty runs up out of nowhere, and she snatches this specific card off of the table and runs away with it and runs into the backyard. And I'm losing my mind because I could not believe my favorite card she stole. And at the time, she had a tendency for being a thief, but I had never seen her thieve a Yu-Gi-Oh card before. Usually it was like shoes or something like that. So she stole this B-Skull. So I chased her outside, and when I recovered it, as you can imagine, oh man, look at that. Obliterated. So I was devastated. Look at that. You can even still see a couple little tooth marks in it to this day. But I was beside myself, and yeah, so I recovered it. I shunned her, and I was mad at her for weeks, but eventually I got over it. And so now, years later, she passed away in 2018. And for anyone that's ever had a pet, there are specific pets. They're kind of like your soul pet. And for Misty, she was mine, and I miss her dearly. And to this day, this card reminds me of her, and it brings back the funny memories. Even though I was so pissed at the time, I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is actually probably my favorite card that I own, and it's damaged and it's beat to hell, but the memories are what makes these things special. So I'll try to get a picture of Misty up on the screen if I can. If I don't, just know she was a cute dog, and yeah, I miss her dearly. But anyhow, great story. Black Skull Dragon will always remind me of my dog, and yeah, one of my favorites. All right, next card. So this is a big one. So this is a Japanese Mew. I think this is from Neos Destiny. I don't know. I'm not the best with Pokemon cards. Even though I opened it when I was a kid, I don't remember the set name so well, but I think it was, or maybe it was Fossil or something. Not too sure. But unique story with this card. So when I was a kid, there was this card shop that was near my house, and it was called Dave's Collectibles. And as a little kid, it was just the coolest place to go. That place was just brimming with trading cards, and I loved being there. But, you know, I didn't grow up in a rich family or anything like that. But my mom, she did sacrifice a lot, and she did go out of her way to buy me cards and things like that when she really didn't have the money. So we went there once in a while, and so I'd become to know the card shop owner. His name was Dave. And it seems like whenever I went in there, I'd only get a pack or two, but I always seemed to have really good luck. And like, not to gloat or anything like that, it was just, I don't know what the deal was. I just always seemed to have good luck. I got really good pulls. So one day we went in there, and my mom said you can get one pack. And so then he said that this set had just come out, and there's this Mew, and it's the rarest card in the set, and the pull rates are really low. So he's like, so Mr. Hotshot, you know, why don't you go ahead and try your luck and see if you can't get the Mew. So again, being a cocky little kid, I was like, okay, let's give it a shot here. So then he gives me, he grabs a box off the shelf, and then he spreads out a bunch of packs. So then I closed my eyes and I picked a pack, and then I proceed to open it, and with my mom there and Dave there, I pulled the Japanese Mew, and he gasped. He was completely shocked. I mean, I was too, although at the time I was like, well, it's to be expected. I'm that great. Just kidding. But I did get this card, and so he offered me tons of booster packs, because I don't know what the value was for this at the time, but it must have been really good. But I was, heck no, I wasn't going to trade him the card. So he gave me a top loader to put it in, and a sleeve, and as you can see, this is a pretty old school sleeve right here. And I kept this. I haven't even really taken this out of the sleeve at all in years. It's still perfect condition. Unfortunately, the value for this, I think it's only like $60 or something like that. I could be wrong, but still, it's priceless to me. And my mom and I, you know, to this day, or over the years, we've always talked about that day and just the odds of that happening. It's just like hitting the lottery as a little kid. And so this card, extremely special to me, very nostalgic, reminds me of my mom, childhood. That Dave's Collectible card shop, it's been shut down for years now, and there's no card shops around me at all anymore, and it just makes me very sad. But this card helps to bring back the nostalgia and the good memories. So there's Mew. All right, so the final card in the top 10, and this is a banger. You ready? So this is a Charizard, holofoil Charizard from base set. First Pokemon set ever. So this is not first edition, nor is it shadowless, I don't think. But this card has also a unique story. So as a little kid, I had a best friend that I grew up with. We went to elementary school together, and to this day, we are in our 30s and we're still best friends. So anyhow, we were little, and so of course we collected Pokemon together. And Charizard was just the bee's knees. Everyone wanted a Charizard. At the time, I'd gotten a Venusaur and a Blastoise, but not the Charizard. So it had to have been like his 8th or 9th birthday party or something, and it was at Chuck E. Cheese, and his parents got him some packs, and so he pulls the Charizard on his birthday. And as a little kid, he's my best friend, so don't get me wrong, I was super happy for him, but over the moon jealous, because Charizard is incredible. And like I said, he's just the epitome of the bee's knees. But so he pulls the Charizard, and so he's showing me, and he's like, dude, I got it, I actually got it. And I'm like, yay, good job. And like I said, I was happy for him, but I was like, dang, that's rough for this little kid's psyche here. So anyhow, fast forward a few years later, I don't remember how many years had passed, but he had a couple little brothers, and apparently they had gotten a hold of this. He had kept it in great condition for a long time, and because he showed off every once in a while as kids. But his brother got a hold of it and kind of beat it up a little, and then he eventually, my friend fell out of collecting. And so I don't remember how it came to be, but he just offered to give it to me at one point, and I was like, hell yeah, I will take that Charizard off your hands if you're sure. And so he said, yeah, it's yours. So to this day, this is his Charizard, pulled in the 90s. So as you can see, definitely scratched up a little bit. There's like a print line coming down the hollow a little bit. So I don't know what his brother did to it. If this was a first edition, I don't know if he would still even have a brother at this point. But no, it's still in pretty good shape despite everything. And yeah, it's a Charizard. I mean, it is the original Charizard. And so I've always had this card sitting in my collection, and I will always remember where it came from. Could not be more grateful to my friend for giving this to me. And you're probably watching, and if you are, thanks, bro, because this one slaps. So there you have it. So there's my top 10 trading cards as far as nostalgia goes. Yeah, I was thinking about ideas for a video, and I just happened to think about being nostalgic and just life back in the day, and so then all this came to mind, and so I wanted to share this with you guys. I feel like it brings a more raw human aspect to trading cards and collecting, and you know, it's just cardboard in the end, but I think what makes it so special are the memories. And, you know, dueling with your friends, or playing Pokemon with your friends, or, you know, playing Game Boys as kids, any of that stuff, or hanging out with your parents, your siblings. There's just I don't know, there's just a special nature to it. And so for anyone that doesn't really collect or anything like that, I would highly suggest it, because it's priceless. I mean, if it can turn a freaking Kakuna into something special for you, then I would say it's worth it. So that wraps it up, guys. You know, leave some comments down below of any nostalgic cards that you pulled as a kid, or any duels or Pokemon matches that you had that just bring back memories, or just your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card, Pokemon card, anything. And in the description I have an email, and I would implore you to, if you don't want to share things in the comments, or if you have a story that's a little too long for the comments, email it to me, and I will, once I collect a few of them, I'll read it on the channel, and then we can just have these little nostalgic parties together, and I think it would be a blast. So anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Also, let me know which one of these cards is your favorite in the comments below, whether you're a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh fan. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, guys. Until next time. Peace.